Chapter 1 of Letters on an Elk Hunt. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lynn Carroll. Letters on an Elk Hunt by a Woman Homesteader. Elinore Pruitt, Stewart. Chapter 1. Connie Willis. Burnfork, Wyoming, July 8, 1914. Dear Mrs. Coney, your letter of the 4th just to hand. How glad your letters make me. How glad I am to have you to tell little things to. I intended to write you as soon as I came back from Green River, to tell you of a girl I saw there, but there was a heap to do and I kept putting it off. I have described the desert so often that I am afraid I will tire you, so I will leave that out and tell you that we arrived in town rather late. The help at the hotel were having their supper in the regular dining room, as all the guests were out. They cheerfully left their own meal to place ours on the table. One of them interested me especially. She was a small person. I couldn't decide whether she was a child or a woman. I kept thinking her homely, and then when she spoke I forgot everything but the music of her voice. It was so restful, so rich and mellow in tone, and she seemed so small for such a splendid voice. Somehow I kept expecting her to squeak like a mouse, but every word she spoke charmed me. Before the meal was over, it came out that she was the dishwasher. All the rest of the help had finished their work for the day, but she, of course, had to wash what dishes we had been using. The rest went their ways, and as our own tardiness had belated her, I offered to help her to carry out the dishes. It was the work of only a moment to dry them, so I did that. She was so small that she had to stand on a box in order to be comfortable while she washed the cups and plates. The sink and drain board were made for real folks. I have to use this box to stand on, or else the water runs back down my sleeves, she told me. My room was upstairs. She helped me up with the children. She said her name was Connie Willis, that she was the only one of her ma's first man's children. But Ma married again after Pa died, and there were a lot of the second batch. When the mother died, she left a baby only a few hours old. As Connie was older than the other children, she took charge of the household and of the tiny little baby. I just wish you could have seen her face light up when she spoke of little Lennie. Lennie is 8 years old now, and she is just as smart as the smartest and as pretty as a doll. All the Ford children are pretty and smart, too. I am the only homely child Ma had. It would do you good just to look at any of the rest, especially Lennie. It certainly did me good to listen to Connie. Her brave patience was so inspiring. As long as I was in town, she came every day when her work was finished to talk to me about Lennie. For herself, she had no ambition. Her clothes were clean, but they were odds and ends that had served their day for other possessors. Her shoes were not mates, and one was larger than the other. She said, I thought it was a streak of luck when I found the cook always wore out her right shoe first and the dining room girl the left, because, you see, I could have their old ones, and that would save $2 toward what I am saving up for. But it wasn't so very lucky after all, except for the fun, because the cook wears low heels and has a much larger foot than the dining room girl, who wears high heels. But I chopped the long heel off with the cleaver, and these shoes have saved me enough to buy Lennie a pair of patent leather slippers to wear on the 4th of July. I thought that a foolish ambition, but succeeding conversations made me ashamed of the thought. I asked her if Lennie's father couldn't take care of her. Oh, she said, Pa Ford is a good man. He has a good heart, but there's so many of them that it is all he can do to rustle what must be had. Why," she told me in a burst of confidence, "I've been saving up for a tombstone for Ma for 12 years, but I have to help Pa once in a while, and I sometimes think I never will get enough money saved. It is kind of hard on $3 a week, and then I'm kind of extravagant at times. I have wanted a doll, a beautiful one, all my days. Last Christmas I got it for Lennie. And then I like to carry out other folks' wishes sometimes. That is what I am fixing to do now. Ma always wanted to see me dressed up real pretty just once, but we were always too poor, and now I'm too old. But I can fix Lennie, and this 4th of July I am going to put all the beauty on her that Ma would have liked to see on me. They always celebrate that day at Manila, Utah, where Pa lives. I'll go out and take the things. Then if Ma is where she can see, she'll see one of her girls dressed for once." "But aren't you mistaken when you say you have been saving for your mother's tombstone for 12 years? She's only been dead 8." "Why, no, I'm not. You see, at first it wasn't a tombstone, but a marble top dresser. Ma had always wanted one so badly, for she always thought that housekeeping would be so much easier if she had just one pretty thing to keep house toward. If I had not been so selfish, she could have had the dresser before she died. I had $15, enough to buy it. But when I came to look in the catalog to choose one, I found that for $15 more I could get a whole set. I thought how proud Ma would be of a new bedstead and washstand, so I set in to earn that much more. But before I could get that saved up, Ma just got tired of living, waiting, and doing without. She never caused any trouble while she lived, and she died the same way. They sent for me to come home from the place where I was at work. I had just got home and I was standing by the bed holding Ma's hand when she smiled up at me. She handed me Lennie and then turned over and sighed so contented. That was all there was to it. She was done with hard times. Pa Ford wanted to buy her coffin on credit, to go in debt for it. But I hated for Ma to have to go on that way, even after she was dead. So I persuaded him to use what money he had to buy the coffin, and I put in all I had too. So the coffin she lies in is her own. We don't owe for that. Then I stayed at home and kept house and cared for Lennie until she was 4 years old. I have been washing dishes in this hotel ever since. That is Connie's story. After she told me, I went to the landlady and suggested that we help a little with Lennie's finery, but she told me to keep out. I doubt if Connie would accept any help from us, and if she did, every cent we put in would take that much from her pleasure. There have not been many happy days in her life, but the 4th of July will be one if we keep out. So I kept out. I was delighted when Mrs. Pearson invited me to accompany her to Manila to witness the bucking contest on the 4th. Manila is a pretty little town situated in Lucerne Valley. All the houses in town are the homes of ranchers whose farms may be seen from any doorstep in Manila. The valley lies between a high wall of red sandstone and the hogback. That is what the foothills are called. The wall of sandstone is many miles in length. The valley presents a beautiful picture as you go eastward. At this time of the year the alfalfa is so green. Each farm joins another. Each has a cabin in which the rancher lives while they irrigate and make hay. When that is finished, they move into their houses in town. Beyond the hogback rise huge mountains, rugged canyons, and noisy mountain streams. Great forests of pine help to make up the picture. Looking toward the east, we could see where mighty Green River cuts its way through walls of granite. The road lies close up against the sandstone and cedar hills, and along the canal that carries the water to all the farms in the valley. I enjoyed every moment. It was all so beautiful. The red rock, the green fields, the warm brown sand of the road and bare places, the mighty mountains, the rugged cedars and sagebrush spicing the warm air, the blue distance and the fleecy clouds. Oh, I wish I could paint it for you. In the foreground there should be some cows being driven home by a barefooted boy with a gun on his shoulder and a limp brown rabbit in his hand. But I shall have to leave that to your imagination and move on to the 4th. On that day every one turns out. Even from the very farthest outlying ranches they come, and every one dressed in his best. No matter what privation is suffered all the rest of the time, on this day every one is dressed to kill. Every one has a little money with which to buy gaudy boxes of candy. Every girl has a chew of gum. Among the children, friendship is proved by invitations to share lemons. They cordially invite each other to "come get a suck of my lemon." I just love to watch them. Old and young are alike. Whatever may trouble them at other times is forgotten, and every one dances, eats candy, sucks lemons, laughs, and makes merry on the 4th. I didn't care much for their contests. I was busy watching the faces. Soon I saw one I knew. Connie was making her way toward me. I wondered how I could ever have thought her plain. Pride lighted every feature. She led by the hand the most beautiful child I have ever seen. She is a few weeks younger than Jerrine, but much smaller. Footnote: Jerrine, the author's daughter, age 8. She had such an elusive beauty that I cannot describe it. One not acquainted with her story might have thought her dress out of taste, out among the sand dunes and sagebrush in the hot sun. But I knew, and I felt the thrill of sheer blue silk, dainty patent leather slippers, and big blue hat just loaded with pink rosebuds. "This is my Lennie," said Connie proudly. I saw all the Ford family before I left, the weak-faced, discouraged-looking father and the really beautiful girls. Connie was neat in a pretty little dress, cheap but becoming, and her shoes were mates. Lennie was the center of family pride. She represented all their longings. Before I left, Connie whispered to me that she would very soon have money enough to pay for her mother's tombstone. Then I will have had everything I ever wanted. I guess I won't have anything else to live for then. I guess I will have to get to wanting something for Lennie. On our way home, even the mosquito bites didn't annoy me. I was too full of Connie's happiness. All my happiness lacked was your presence. If I had had you beside me to share the joy and beauty, I could have asked for nothing more. I kept saying, "How Mrs. Coney would enjoy this." All I can do is to kind of hash it over for you. I hope you like hash. With much love to you, Elinore. End of chapter 1.